I'm going to tie a Royal Trude, and I'm going to tie it in a size 12. So I've got a size 12 dry fly hook in the vise, and the thread that I'm going to use is an 8/0 black. So I'm just going to get this started about the midway point in the hook shank down to about the point in the hook, and then I can trim off the excess. I can tie in my tail, and for this I use a golden pheasant tippet. And so here's the tippet, and I take a pretty generous section of it off, and I want to make sure that I keep those markings aligned. So I've got my section of tippet here, measure it out to be about a hook shank or so in length, and then I can tie it in. And I'll bring it down to about the point in the hook here, and then I can trim off the excess. Then just a couple more wraps to make sure it's not going anywhere. And when I'm satisfied with that, then I can tie in my body material, and I'm going to use a peacock curl. And so I'll take off 2 or 3 strands, and I'll just want to trim up the ends. And then I'll tie those in. So bring my thread back down to the starting point and then back up. So now I can start to wrap the peacock curl, and pretty straightforward here, just going to make 2 sections. And so I'll tie in the bottom section, so just a handful of wraps here, and then I'll advance my purl, and then you can break this off and start it all over again, but I'm just going to tie back to where I want that red floss to start, and I'm going to leave that peacock curl on there. So I'm going to take and add in red floss, as I mentioned. So this is a 4-strand red floss, and one thing that helps when they come in different pieces, if you just wet the ends, they'll all come together. So I'm just going to tie this in right on top, and now I can start to bring my thread back and start to determine what type of proportion I want for that red. So I'll just make my wraps up through, and if there's high spots or low spots, just kind of adjust your floss to fill, and then I can come up and tie that off. And then I can trim what's left of the floss. So now I can take this that I kept attached, and now I'll work that back to where I want my peacock to build back up. So again, just pick up making my wraps. And then I can tie it off when I've got nice even sections. Now the wing for this is a calf tail, so I'm going to use just a white calf tail, and I'm going to take a section of it off. And I am going to stack this, so I'll want to remove any of that under fur and any shorter or really long pieces, and I'll set it in my stacker. And when I pull it out, all the tips should now be aligned, And I want this to fall maybe just past the hook, so I can trim off this excess. And then tie it in right on top. And now for the remaining section of the fly, this is just going to be filled in with hackle. So I've got a furnace hackle, and I'll trim off the end. I'll clean up the stem so I can tie it in. And then I can just start to wrap this forward. And when I get to the top, I can just take a wrap to secure it, and then trim off the excess. Pull this back just to clean any sections up, and then I can whip finish. Trim that, and I'll just put a drop of head cement on this. You can also, if you like, sometimes this floss takes some damage as well. You can put a coat of, or a drop of head cement on that as well. But that's a classic, and it is a Royal Trude.